Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some small housekeeping items. This is a webinar, which means that attendees are in a listen and view only mode with no ability to unmute or start your cameras. You'll be able to ask questions during the Q&A portion by selecting the Q&A icon on your Zoom toolbar. Also, please feel free to use the chat feature to send any comments or feedback. Additionally, we're offering interpretation today in Spanish, Vietnamese, and Mandarin. You can access that by selecting the interpretation button on your toolbar. You'll also be able to access closed captioning and select any of the available 11 languages that you would like to view today's session in. And with that, I'd like to start the session by turning it over to Juan.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today at today's PSE Ask an Expert virtual event. My name is Juan Farias Torres, and I will be your MC today. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right on into the agenda for today. We're going to go ahead and get things started off with a safety moment for October Fire Safety Prevention Month. And then we'll go into some news to know, followed by team introductions. And then I'll talk a little bit about some prizes we'll be giving out. And then we'll go into our program overviews. And then we'll go into a live Q&A with today's panelists. So make sure you hold on to your questions. And then I'll have some closing remarks there at the end. So let's go ahead and hit the next slide, please. Okay, so October is Fire Safety Month. So today I want to talk a little bit about cooking safety, especially since the holidays are coming up and we're going to be doing a lot more cooking with family and there's just going to be a lot more opportunity to get in the kitchen. So first of all, we want to pay attention to what we're cooking. It might sound obvious to some, but not paying attention will while you're cooking could lead to or leads to hundreds of cooking related house fires every year. Another thing is you should watch your surroundings. While you're paying attention to your food, don't forget to look around your surroundings because there could be clothes, towels, or household cleaning products that can all be very risky near open flames. So make sure you keep those items away from any open flame you have. Pot handles. These may not always be a fire starter, but whatever food you have heating up in your pans could be scalding hot. So that could cause some serious damage to other household members if we knock it over. They could suffer some severe burns. So to avoid such accidents, make sure that the handles are always facing the other way and not out, just to avoid any accidents like that. And then keep your kitchen clean. A clean kitchen is a safe kitchen. And then make sure that you have a kid and pet free zones when we're cooking. Sometimes there's a lot going on, so making sure that our kids or pets are not coming into the kitchen while we're cooking unless we want them there. It's important so we can avoid any accidents. You could always put up baby gates in the kitchen and train your pets to stay away from that area. And then finally, buy a fire extinguisher. If you haven't already, this is the perfect time to do so. Next, and then here are some other ways that you can get involved in National Fire Prevention Month. You can attend a local fire prevention event. You can talk to your local fire department, go to your local library, or learn about fire safety online through different educational materials. Next slide. Okay, so our first polling question for today, what language do you prefer to listen to us in today? Is it English, Spanish, Vietnamese, or Mandarin? Go ahead and enter your answer and we'll go ahead and take a look at the results here in 1 second. Okay. So let's go ahead and get those results up there. And it looks like the majority of our attendees today are English speakers, 96%, and we do have some Spanish and Mandarin speakers here as well. So welcome everybody and thank you for joining us today. Next slide. Okay, now some news to know. Did you know that PSE.com is now offered in multiple languages, including English, Mandarin, Korean, Russian, Spanish, and Vietnamese? If you didn't know, go and check it out. There's a lot of really useful information on the website in language now. Next slide. All right, so now time for a quick team introduction. I'll go ahead and get things started. My name is Juan Farias Torres. I am an outreach manager in Skagit and Snohomish County. And then I'll go ahead and pass it off to Suzanne, and then we'll just go down the line.
Hello, everyone. I'm Suzanne Sassville, the Supervisor of Energy Assistance Programs here at PSE. And I'll turn it over to Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandy Sigg. I manage the Home Weatherization Assistance Program at PSE. Amit?
Hi, my name is Amit Singh, and I am the Program Manager for Efficiency Boost. Pass it over to Tyler.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tyler Bierstow, and I am the Program Manager for Community Solar here at Puget Sound Energy. I think the last one we have here is Caleb.
Hello, I'm Caleb. I'm one of the senior energy advisors with our energy advisors team. Either I or one of my coworkers are often who you might be talking to whenever you call in about a high bill or want to talk about rebates or anything. I would often be your first point of contact there.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. Perfect. So, we recognize that everybody has things to do and that everybody's busy. So we want to thank everybody for being here today. And as a way of doing that, we will be giving away 5 $100 gift cards to Fred Meyer. So stick around until the end of the presentation to find out how you can get one of these awesome $100 gift cards. Next slide, please. All right, we have another poll question here. So if you could tell us what brings you here today. Are you looking for help lowering your energy bill with payment assistance? Are you looking to lower your energy bill by making your home more energy efficient? Or are you looking to learn how you can use rebates to purchase energy efficient appliances and equipment? Or would you like to learn about no-cost solar for qualifying customers? Or all the above? Go ahead and make your vote, and then we'll go ahead and take a look here in just a second to see what we're all interested in here. Okay. Give it another couple seconds here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that poll. All right, well, very interesting results here, but it looks like the majority of people here are here to for all the above. So, and for the other people who are here just for specific items, stick around. There's a lot of really good information here. So thank you for participating. Let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. All right, Suzanne, I will pass it on to you.
Thank you, Juan. Good morning, everyone. I'm again Suzanne Sassville, the Supervisor of our Bill Assistance Programs here at Puget Sound Energy. I'll start with the next slide. So an overview of the programs that PSE offers. The first program I'll talk about is our PSE Help. It's the Home Energy Lifeline program, so that's the acronym. And this program offers qualified customers bill payment assistance beyond the Washington State LIHEAP program, which I'll talk about in a moment. And the eligibility guidelines for income are those customers whose gross household income is at or below 80% of the county median income, or 200% of the federal poverty guideline, whichever is greater. So our income guidelines behind the scenes will definitely make that number for you. The grants that someone's eligible for in this program range from 250 up to 1,000. And what really drives that is factors such as the usage that has been over the last 12 months at the address and the number of people in the household, the income. So there's a formula that determines the grant amount, and it's really designed to pay 20 to 60% of your annual usage. So our website does have a link where you can go to find if your income is within the qualifying guidelines. And that income or that link is right here. For the PSE Help Program, we now have an online application that you can go to on PSE.com to apply for that, as well as our bill discount rate. And so things are different in this year from past years in that you can apply online and our partnering agencies will be able to see your application and will be able to work that application and also to see what other programs you may be eligible for and reach out to you or you can reach out to them. If you do not have access to a computer, a smartphone, or a tablet in order to apply on PSE.com, you may request an application be mailed to you by contacting our customer care. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, applying for the PSE Help Program also has a second component. So we have a brand new bill discount rate that was launched on October 1st. And this discount rate offers eligible customers a reduced rate on your monthly bill. That can range anywhere from 5% off to 45% off, depending on those few factors that I had mentioned. Number of people in the household, what the income is, and so our website will talk about that. When people are enrolled, you as a customer will receive the discount for a year. And then at that time, at the 12-month mark, you'll be given the opportunity to reapply or renew your participation in the program. And so we are looking at annual income, as we know that can change from one year to the next. Customers whose gross income is at or below 80% of the county median income or 200% of the federal poverty guideline. Again, it's the same qualifying income as for our PSE Help Program, and that's programmed behind the scenes in our system. Customers now can self-attest to their monthly income. What that means is that you tell us what the income for your household of members that are 18 years and older are, the collective income, and really looking at the previous month, for example. And you don't have to provide documentation at the upfront application time. That later is something that our agencies will be doing a verification of about 5% of our customers. And so upfront, you wouldn't need it, but you still want to hang on to it and make sure you have that supporting documentation for if you are called upon later. And I do want to mention here, there is not a mandatory need for a Social Security number. You may find when you're applying that it'll say SSN or ITIN. And if you don't have either one of those numbers, you could put in zeros, which will get you through the process at the moment. And that is fine. By completing a bill discount application, again, the application for PSE Help will be automatically generated. And what that means is that you will have the opportunity to have that PSE Help grant processed by our partnering agency and a pledge put on your bill. Our team here at PSE would be doing that once the agency looks at your application and then approves it. And the pledge will go on, and you'll see that on your bill. And it should be typically within a 30-day period of time that our agencies will be looking at your application and then approving them. Customers can instantly see if you're eligible for the program by visiting pse.com/discount, and I'll show you how that's done here in a moment. So I'll have you go to the next slide, please. So on our website, we have a calculator here, and you'll see the words, see if you're eligible. And this is where you can enter the number of residents in your household. And these are residents that are living there full time. And then the county that you live in. And when we say enter the monthly household income, what we're looking for really is to see if you're within that annual eligibility guideline. And so generally, we tell people to look at the previous month to today and then put in that income. But we also understand that people may have been unemployed for the last 11 months, and you now have just 1 month of really good income. And so if that's the case for you, take a look at maybe the last 3 and give us what that average monthly household gross income is, because our system will take off for taxes when you have earned income. And so this is what you'll see on our website. Next slide, please. I do want to mention, if your income that you enter is showing that you may be over income for the program, it is worth maybe continuing, because PSE on the bill discount side will be approving those applications, and our CAP agencies, Community Action Partnership agencies, will be working on the PSE help side of it. So sometimes income can be tricky, especially if you're self-employed, but put the number that you feel is best, and then we'll take a look at the applications afterward. And we do still encourage, if you have any questions or really feel that you're eligible, that you continue to contact maybe your agency that you're in the area of. These tiers here are the different percents. And so you'll see tier 1 is those households that have the lower income and maybe higher number of household members. And then the tiers go up to a tier 6, which is the 5% off the bill. So there's 5%, 10, 15, 20, 40, and 45. And behind the scenes are all of the income guidelines for all of our 10 counties. So as you can imagine, when we're allowing for a great number of household members, up to 24 household members, we are putting those income guidelines behind the scenes in a way that will give the brackets a good range for you to, when your income is put in, to see where you would fall. Next slide, please. So I'll go on about the other programs that are available to PSE customers. This one you definitely want to make sure that you look into, and this is the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. LIHEAP is the acronym, and this is funding that comes from the federal government, and it is given to all of the states in the US. And so Washington State has this program distributed to community action partnerships. PSE has 11 within our service territory that administer this program, and they are also the administrators for our PSE Help program. So what we say is that these agencies are the place to go for the LIHEAP program for sure, and they also, again, approve our PSE help. This assistance is mainly for covering the heating and cooling parts of your annual usage. So there's a formula behind the scenes at the agencies that is designed to cover that heating and cooling expense that's part of your bills. Customers whose net income is at or below 150% of the federal poverty guideline is where the income eligibility stands for this program. So it's lower than for the PSE help and bill discount rate. And the grants in this program range from $200 up to $1,000. And so you'll see, especially if you're applying for our PSE help and bill discount rate online, you'll see an email that will go to you telling you to contact your community action agency in your area. And those can be found on our website. The Warm Home Fund, last but not least. This is what I like to call a safety net. This is for customers who have received a disconnect notice or after PSE help and LIHEAP and may still have a balance that is getting to a place where you're concerned of disconnection. Our Salvation Army unit contacts within our service territory administer the Warm Home Fund. And this is the same income guidelines as for the PSE help and our bill discount rate. And so on our website, there is on the bill assistance page, a paragraph that states the Salvation Army Warm Home Fund. And when you see that and the Learn More button, that hyperlink leads you to a document that shows you the phone number for all of the Salvation Army units within our service territory so that you could call them. Now, we always say call them last. They have limited funding, and the LIHEAP and PSE help programs have the larger grants. So this is what we like to say a third tier of assistance available. And so that would be after the PSE help and LIHEAP. And this one here, again, it provides assistance if there is a disconnection notice that you've received. We do know that if you haven't received a disconnection notice and you've received the other assistance programs and you're still concerned, feel free to call the Warm Home Fund and request assistance if you would like. Next slide, please. Where to find your agency. So on our website, we do have the agencies listed, and we decided to put them here as well so that you could see them today. You'll notice in King County, the multi-service center is South King County. Hope Link is North King County. Bird Bar Place is the city of Seattle. In Kitsap County, we have Kitsap Community Resources. In Kittitas County is Hope Source. And in Thurston County, it's the Community Action Council of Lewis Mason, Thurston County. And that's the same in Lewis County. In Pierce County, in the area outside the city of Tacoma, that's Pierce County Department of Community Services. And in the city of Tacoma is the Metropolitan Development Council, or MDC. In Skagit County, it's Community Action of Skagit County. In Snohomish County, it's Snohomish Human Services. In Whatcom County, Opportunity Council. And in Island County, it's also the Opportunity Council. And they can be found at that website that you see here at the bottom of the screen. Next slide, please. So we put a few bullets here. There are also frequently asked questions on our website as well that I'll encourage you to look at and to read over, perhaps before applying for our programs. But a few questions here to answer just in case you've been wondering. If you need support from PSE when trying to contact an agency, remember that our agencies in the fall period of time are getting many calls, certainly for the LIHEAP program. And for PSE help, you wouldn't need an appointment necessarily, but if you are eligible for LIHEAP, which our guidelines for the LIHEAP program are on our website, you would want to contact your agency and they will tell you where their appointment scheduling is at. And if it is out 30 days or sometimes 60 days or more, feel free to check back because each day their calendar will open up new appointments for the next available appointment. But you can call PSE if you have a concern about your bill, and we will hold credit action while you are seeking any further LIHEAP assistance. Key is to apply online for PSE help because those we can get you on the bill discount rate at least while you're waiting. You can also, so calling our call center can definitely hold your account for a necessary appointment. How do I know if I'm eligible for the bill discount rate and PSE help? Again, I think going to our website is a valuable resource because we not only have the LIHEAP income guidelines, but we also have the PSE help income guidelines, and those are the same for the bill discount rate. So I encourage you to go there, and then also the little calculator that we saw in the previous slides. That will tell you if the income is appearing eligible or a bit over. If you need follow-up from PSE, if you're not getting a response from one of the agencies, let's say you've left a voicemail or anything like that, trying them again is always the best. But if you do feel that you want to communicate to PSE that you're not getting a response, feel free to contact our customer care and they will notify my team, and that we can certainly check in for you and see if you can get a call back from that agency for whatever the need might be that you have. What steps can I take to expedite my request for bill assistance? Again, I'm thinking applying on PSE.com. And the reason why I say that is we do have a PSE team, again, approving the bill discount rate applications, and our agencies are getting the PSE help applications from the website and then also from in-person appointments. But that's the best step to take. And you can have, if you need any assistance in how to do that, our customer care department does have customer service reps that can help you with setting up a My PSE account online and can get you started in that direction should you need it. And if you have any additional questions at this time, you can submit them using the QA button below. Next slide, please. So I want to say thank you today for joining the call and learning about what programs are available to you. For bill payment questions, we do have a customer care at pse.com, and you can go to our website where we have, again, a Q&A section and lots of information about our bill assistance programs that you can read up on. And that's the pse.com/assistance. It's really handy on the front page of pse.com. There's a big button that says financial assistance, and that's your gateway into the bill assistance knowledge. So I thank you for your time today. And I'll move to the next slide to introduce our next speaker. So I'm going to introduce our wonderful host today, Juan Farias Torres. I'm turning it over to you.
Thanks, Suzanne, and thanks for all that really great information. So, as I said earlier, I am part of the outreach team, and as part of the outreach team, we help support all the different programs that PSE offers. So the way we do that is by going out into the community and working with local organizations and working with them to bring our services to the community they serve. So what we got going on here for you guys today is we have a list of all the different workshops, sign up workshops that Outreach is going to be doing. And there's an Outreach representative for PSC in each of our 10 counties. So in each of one of those counties, we have a representative going out into the community and doing events and getting people signed up. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide here. This slide has workshops in the northern area. So if you're up in Skagit County, Whatcom County, Island, or Snohomish County, we have a few options coming up here where you can go and get extra assistance from one of the outreach managers out on the field. So if you want to take a screenshot of this or take a picture with your phone, feel free to stop by any of these events here in the North area. We can help you get signed up as well as, give you some swag. Next slide, please. Okay, these are other workshops that we got going on here. These are more in the central area of our territories here. So we have, let's see here, we got some events going on Bainbridge Island, Bremerton, Kingston, that area. So if you need extra assistance, there's a lot of options here in this area. Next slide. All right, and this here are all the other workshops that we have going on in the South area. So we got some going on in Burien, Federal Way, Kent, Port Orchard, Poulsbo, and Renton. So if you're in any of those areas, make sure, stick around, come by, say hi, or, you can always contact us at outreach@psc.com and potentially request a list of events in your area, and we can potentially get that out to you. So yeah. All right, next slide. All right, I will go ahead and introduce Sandy.
Well, thank you, Juan. My name is Sandy Sig. I manage the PSE Home Weatherization Assistance Program, and I first want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join me to learn more about the program. Next slide. Well, I want to first talk about, what is weatherization? What does that word really mean? So I'm going to read a definition to you. It means fixing problems in your home to reduce energy waste, improve health and safety, and increase comfort at no cost to income eligible customers. So think of three things: fixing problems in your home to reduce energy waste, which improve health and safety and increase comfort, but then at no cost if you qualify. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about all these things as we move forward in the presentation. Next slide. But what I first want to know, what is your experience in your home? So I'm going to ask you a poll question. How do I know if my home needs weatherization? In other words, what do you feel is your home's biggest issue? Now take a look at all four choices. This is multiple choice, so you can choose more than one. The first one is too cold in the winter. The second choice is too hot in the summer. The third choice is not enough fresh air. And the fourth choice is energy bills are too high. So take a moment to complete the poll, and then we'll take a look at the answers. Okay, let's take a look to see what people said. By and large, most people are saying, well, my bills are too high. But a lot of people also said that it's too cold in the winter. So to me, that's a comfort issue, right? And too hot in the summer. 45% said that. And some did say not enough fresh air. So these are all benefits of weatherization. So if you answer just one of those, if you just chose one of those things, chances are your home may benefit from weatherization. So next slide. Well, let's talk a little bit more about what weatherization can look like. So we talked about a definition, but what does it really look like if I receive weatherization in my home? So let's take a look at that bottom picture. You see someone who's rolling out insulation in an attic. So think of it this way, your home is a lot like you. So let's say you're outside and it's really cold and you forgot your coat. Well, you're probably going to do something to try to warm up. You're going to run, you're going to jump, but you're going to spend a lot of energy, right? Trying to warm up to increase your body temperature. Well, your home's the same way. If it doesn't have that coat, like that insulation that you see in the picture, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to try to warm up, right? And it's going to turn on your heating system. And it's going to work really hard to try to maintain the temperature inside of your home. So so that's what weatherization does, though. It's like giving your home a coat so that it has an easier time holding the warm air in the winter. And what's really nice is it also holds in the cool air in the summer. So it works both ways. Now, weatherization also includes other things, though. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see something that looks like a fan that was placed in a doorway. Well, that's called a blower door test. And what that blower door test can tell us is if you have a lot of leaks in your home. So some of you said, my home feels like cold in the winter. Well, that means it might be kind of drafty. It might mean that you have air leaks in your home. So weatherization can also take care of those air leaks. And then if you look at the right, this is just some interesting technology that's used during a weatherization job. It's called infrared technology, and it can actually show where like heat is escaping in the home. So it's just kind of interesting how they can really pinpoint where weatherization needs occur in your home. So next slide. So you might be asking, okay, if I applied for the program and I qualify, well, what upgrades could I receive? So let's cover what a typical project might include. And it's in 3 different categories. To the left, you'll see the word usually, then sometimes, and then rarely, never. So let's look at this a little bit more closely. So next slide. So a typical project includes, now let's look at the usual category. This is what a project usually includes. Now we talked about insulation, right? Well, you can get insulation in your attic wall floor. We call that box that is your home or your apartment, by the way. We call that the envelope. So we're insulating the envelope where you live. But we also talked about sealing up air leaks. But if you do all of those things, you insulate and you seal up air leaks, chances are you might need some improved ventilation in your home too. We can seal up heating ducts, again, a place where air can escape in your home. Insulate heating ducts and water pipes, can do that too. And it may also include minor home repairs relating to the weatherization job. Now in the middle, this is sometimes. Sometimes a project includes a heating system upgrade, a water heater upgrade, larger home repairs relating to weatherization, or it might include fuel switching from oil heat to electric. Now, what it rarely and never includes are window replacements, solar panels, major repairs, or repairs just not related to weatherization. Next slide. Now you might have a general idea like what weatherization can look like and what measures might be included if you were to apply for the program, but let's talk about structures served. Now, I'm going to divide housing types into 2 categories, single family and multifamily. Now, both categories are served by this program. It just operates a little bit differently between single family and multifamily. Single family means that you live in a site-built home or a manufactured home. Multifamily means that you live in an apartment, a condo, or a townhome. Now, you can either be an owner, especially if it's single family, or you can be a renter. Owners and renters can apply for this program. You both qualify. Now, with single family, let's look at the bottom line. Single family income qualified per home. This is what it means. It means if you live in a single family structure, you directly apply for the program. You as owner or you as renter apply for the program. However, if you live in multifamily building, the income is qualified per property, per building. So that means that you don't directly apply for the program if you live in an apartment. Your property owner, your property manager would do that. So next slide. Now, I want to explain how the program works overall, because you might be asking the question at this stage, at no cost, how can you do that? How can you weatherize a whole building at no cost? Well, this is how it works. PSE is a partner in the state's weatherization plus health programs. In other words, PSE doesn't directly install weatherization in your home. The weatherization measures are installed by a local agency. That's why you see that purple box in the middle of the slide. So PSE is one funder. Now, if you look to the right of PSE, you also see Washington State Department of Commerce. And then to the left of that, you see U.S. Department of Energy. So the Washington State Department of Commerce also provides state dollars, and the Department of Energy provides federal dollars. So we have utility, state, and federal dollars all being used on projects so that they can be available to you. So weatherization is available to you at no cost if you qualify. So that's how it works. Next slide. Well, at this stage, you might be asking, yeah, this all sounds well and good, but do I qualify? So this is what I recommend. Overall, if you have any question whether or not you qualify, call your local agency. Now, the agencies that Suzanne gave you earlier, many of them also provide weatherization, but there are some exceptions depending on the county that you live in. And if you want to go directly to the agency contact list, I'm going to tell you a little trick. We just added this. You can go to pse.com/agency. If you want to go directly to your agency and the contact numbers, pse.com/agency. However, now let's take a look at the slide more closely. General guidelines are listed at pse.com/home. Okay, you can go there, and we do have a chart, an income guideline chart, and it will give you a general idea if you qualify. But again, if you really want to know, calling the agency is the best thing you can do. Now, I want to make sure when you do look at this chart that that you understand how it's organized, because you'll choose the county that you live in and then the number of people in your household. But you're going to see two rows of income numbers. There's a blue row and there's a yellow row. Now, if your income, and I want to qualify something. This is your gross income. We use gross income in this program. If your gross income is below the blue row, we encourage you to apply, and you are more likely to receive services. Now, there's also a yellow row, though. Now, if your income is between the blue row and the yellow row, you are encouraged to apply, but contact your local agency to confirm if you will be served by the program, because it differs across the counties. So again, use the chart to get a general idea, but then call your agency if you have any questions whatsoever. Next slide. Okay, I want to leave some parting thoughts with you. I do want you to understand that this program is in high demand, and it is worth the wait. And this is what I mean. Depending on where you live, you may be placed on a wait list after qualifying for the program. This is primarily due to high demand and contractor workforce shortages. So please be patient with the agencies and keep in mind that the program is designed to be a long-term solution to lower energy bills. Again, we're working on the entire home, and it is designed to lower bills for the long term. So while you wait, though, there is relief, and it's the programs that Suzanne just talked about. We encourage you to look into bill assistance programs as an additional, faster way to save money. Now, the average project benefits are so valuable. Participants often receive free home upgrades worth thousands of dollars. So just to understand, it operates a little differently because some upfront paperwork and proof of income is required during the application process. But again, parting thought, the program is worth the wait. Next slide. So I want to share with you a recent customer's experience. My house had so many problems. There were times I wondered what I was going to do. Thanks to you plus this wonderful program, I once again am enjoying my house. My energy usage is down so much. It's made such a difference. There is no more mold spell. My bathrooms work, etc. I have been singing your praises, plus will be forever grateful. I just don't know what I would have done without your expertise and the funding of this program. Next slide. Okay, so here's some additional information. So again, there's some quick and easy ways to get to the Home Weatherization Assistance webpage. You can go to pse.com/agency. You actually don't have to type in -contacts. It's pse.com/agency, or you can just go to pse.com/home to get some background information about the program and to find those income eligibility guidelines. Now, you can also go to the Washington Department of Commerce website. It's a longer website address, so I'll give you a little bit of time to write this down if you'd like. It's commerce.washingtonwa.gov. Oh, it's also in the chat. /growing-the-economy/weatherization-and-energy-efficiency. So that's the end of the presentation. And again, I do want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join me. Now I want to advance to the next slide so that I can introduce you to my coworker, Amit Singh. He manages the Efficiency Boost program. You're on, Amit.
Thanks, Sandy. Good morning, everyone. And again, thank you for taking time out of your day to learn about these programs. I'm the program manager for Efficiency Boost. Next slide. So Efficiency Boost is a little bit of a different program than what Sandy and Suzanne were describing. So this is a program designed for moderate income customers. And essentially what it is higher rebates for customers that are income qualified. So the target audience is customers whose incomes are just above the requirements for weatherization assistance and bill assistance. And so there would still be an out-of-pocket cost for customers. It's just, again, a higher rebate to help you lower your out-of-pocket costs when you're upgrading equipment in your home. Information about the program can be found at pse.com/boost. That includes the income qualification table, which is based on your household size and the median income in your county. Next slide, please. We have higher rebates across a number of different categories. So insulation, kind of like the coat that Sandy mentioned in her presentation, air and duct sealing, windows, water heat, space heat, thermostats, and then clothes washers and dryers as well. Next slide. I did want to highlight a special offer that we started this year for thermostats only. So we started a efficiency boost marketplace, pse.com/boost marketplace. And if you visit the site, and you'll enter in your income and your household size, and if you qualify, it'll let you into the site. And on that site, you can get smart thermostats for as low as $1 plus free shipping. So you can get, thermostats for a forced air, like a central heating system. There's also thermostats for cadet and baseboard heaters as well. Next slide. To get started, for the other categories like insulation or water heating or space heating, first you want to go to pse.com/boost. You want to so there you can take a look at how much the rebates are. So the rebate amounts by category. You can again verify your income using your household size and where you live. So once you confirm that your income does fall under the max limit for efficiency boost, you want to contact an energy advisor at 1-800-562-1482. And the energy advisor will talk you through our various programs. So they'll talk you through bill assistance, weatherization assistance, and efficiency boost. The kind of reason for that conversation is to make sure that you're getting the best resource for you. As Sandy mentioned in her presentation, weatherization assistance is no out-of-pocket cost for the customer, and it can be thousands of dollars worth of value. So we definitely want to make sure that if you're eligible for that, you're getting that service. But if your income is too high for that, then efficiency boost would be a good option. And then the energy advisor would direct you to an income qualification form. So that's a form that you would sign. You can do that digitally. And then you would either you would submit that with your project, or your contractor would submit that on your behalf. Next slide. Okay, there are a number of different ways to participate and get the project done at your home. So the first is to request a referral for a PSE recommended energy professional. These are the trusted network of contractors that PSE partners with, and they are familiar with our programs and our rebates and all the rules around them. So we always recommend seeking out an estimate from a recommended energy professional if you're looking to get some work done in your home. If you have a contractor that you already trust, or you're handy and can do DIY work yourself, then you can also get an efficiency boost rebate that way. You just need to submit your own rebate application, and you can do that either by email or by snail mail. Please do note that for weatherization, so insulation and air and duct sealing, you do need to use a PSE contractor for that, and that's just to make sure it's done in the right way. There are health and safety implications if that work is done incorrectly. So we do want to make sure that work is done properly. And that's why for weatherization, to get the efficiency boost rebate, you do have to use a PSE contractor. And then again, just want to highlight another way to participate in the program is to, if you're interested in thermostats, is to go to pse.com/boost marketplace. And again, you can get thermostats for as low as $1 plus free shipping. Next slide. Okay, so what to expect when you work with a contractor. So if you hire a PSE trade ally or a PSE contractor, they will give you that rebate, that efficiency boost high rebate, directly on your invoice. It's called an instant rebate. So that's a deduction right on your invoice as a line item from the cost that you pay to the contractor. If you do not do the upgrade with a PSE contractor, you'll need to submit your own application, and again, submit it either via email or snail mail. And we do want to, I did want to just point out or recommend that if you are seeking out work from a contractor, to always get at least 3 bids. That's something kind of that anybody here at PSE will recommend, is to always get at least 3 bids when you're seeking out a professional to help you with a contract. That can help you learn about what the requirements for the work are, and also obviously it'll give you different costs associated with each contractor, so you can kind of make the best decision based on those 3 choices. Next slide. Just a testimonial from a customer that I wanted to share. The service provided was excellent, and the insulation that went into my attic has made my house so much cooler this summer. What a difference. Thank you for making my life better. And this is from an Efficiency Boost customer named Sarah. So yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to improve the energy efficiency of your home, and we can help you lower the out-of-pocket cost for that with Efficiency Boost. Next slide. So this is a poll question, just a little bit of making sure you're paying attention to what I recommended before. How many quotes should I get before choosing a contractor for a home project? And I'll give you a minute to respond to that. Okay. Good. Looks like most people are listening and paying attention. That's great. Yeah, so 3, as I recommended before. I see 19% of people said as many as I can to feel comfortable. That I threw that in there because it is definitely a valid point. If you have the time and bandwidth, get more than 3. These are experts coming to your home to talk to you about the project, so you'll learn a lot about the project that way. And obviously, the more you can learn about your project and what's required, the better position you'll be in to make the best decision for your home. Next slide. So a couple of FAQs. Can renters participate? Yes, but you would need to be the person paying the bill, or the person paying the bill would need to be income qualified. And then obviously you would need to get the property owner's permission as well. How do I qualify for the program? Again, just visit the website, pse.com/boost. Make sure that your income falls under the max. Then call an energy advisor, and then you'll fill out the income qualification form and either give that to your contractor, or you'll submit it yourself if you're doing DIY work or you're using a non-PSE contractor. How do I get started? Just contact an energy advisor at 1-800-562-1482, or you can visit the pse.com/boost marketplace if you're interested in those $1 thermostats. Next slide. Okay, thanks everybody, and I'll pass it off to Tyler for Community Solar.
Thank you, Amit. And hello, everybody. Again, my name is Tyler Bierstow, and I am the program manager for Community Solar. Excuse me. So we've heard a lot about energy efficiency, and energy efficiency programs are incredible at helping you shrink your usage and save a ton on your bills. What I'm going to talk to you about is a little bit different. This is still designed as a cost saver, but on a smaller scale, and it allows our customers to have the opportunity to reap the benefits of renewable energy with as few barriers as possible. So we can go to the next slide here. And just to keep everything moving, get your thoughts going. I'm going to ask you just to think about this. What is renewable energy? Take a second, think. You can drop it in the chat or, to yourself, what is renewable energy? If we click through to the next slide, there we go. There's our answer. So renewable energy is clean energy that comes from naturally replenishing resources. In Washington State, that looks like wind, solar, geothermal, and gas from dairy farms and landfills. One of the things that you'll note here, just as sort of like an interesting fact, is that here in the state of Washington, hydro is not considered renewable. So anyway, that's just to kind of, get you thinking about renewable energy. We are going to dive into a little bit of a different piece of the presentation. So if we go into the next slide. Here we go. This is going to be like a little education time. If this is really, really basic and an overview view, this is great. And maybe, if not, maybe you'll learn something a little bit about kind of how energy and solar works and what community solar is. So how does energy get into your home? Energy is essential for our daily lives, but what really happens when you flick the light switch, right, and your lamp turns on or something like that? Most energy is generated by power plants, where various energy sources are used to produce electricity. These can be things like fossil fuels, so like coal, oil, and natural gas, as well as clean and green sources like hydro, wind, and solar. Once that energy is generated, it gets transmitted through the power lines to your home, where it is then used to, say, power that lamp. To simplify things, we really refer to that whole process beyond your home as the grid. So really the short answer could be that when I flip the light switch, energy from the grid comes into my home to power my lamp. All right, we can go into the next slide. Okay, so now that we all agree on the basics of how energy works to get into your home, let's focus on one of these energy types or sources, solar. When we think of solar, what do we normally picture? I know for me, oftentimes that's like a homeowner who decides to install solar panels on their roof to produce part of or all of their electricity usage and reduce their carbon emissions. Businesses can do this too. And you can see that down below underneath that house there, now that they have solar, they still get their bill from the utility. Along with that bill comes credits from the energy that they produce, and they'll see a reduction in their greenhouse gas emissions. So those will be going down. But keep in mind, above, you'll see that this means that they still have to pay for and manage the installation and maintenance of the solar array that's producing that energy. But what happens when you're like so many of us that face barriers, right? Maybe your roof gets too much shade for solar, or it's too expensive, or maybe you're like me and you're a renter. What can you do then? And that's really where community solar comes in. So this program provides access to solar energy for those who otherwise can't install solar panels on their own roof. If we go to the next slide, we can see here that community solar alleviates the customer of the barriers around installing an expensive solar array while still allowing them to participate in the benefits. So how does this work? PSE partners with local organizations to install solar arrays in your neighborhood. Now, we can't necessarily guarantee that when you, if you participate in this program, when you flip your light switch, that the actual electrons from the solar array, from your solar array is going to be flowing into your home. But either way, the energy from these local projects is pushed directly into the grid, which is where you're pulling your energy. You can see that the way community solar is built, again, the customer, which would be you under that house, you're still going to get all of the benefits of solar, which is the greenhouse gas reduction. So reducing that carbon footprint and those credits along with your bill, but you're no longer responsible for maintaining or installing a costly system. So if we go to the next slide, we can actually take a look at the reason why I'm actually talking to you all today, which is the program around community solar. So there is a monthly subscription fee to this. However, there's a portion of the program that's completely free to those who qualify based on income. As I'm sure you can tell, a big part of this program is the desire to break barriers to renewable energy. And so in that same vein, we try to make the application process as simple as possible. There are no proofs of income or anything like that required. There's just a simple online form. And then with that, customers can count on a fixed monthly credit of up to $480 a year, depending on the location. We recently, if you've heard about community solar in the past, we recently had a change, and so we were able to increase that customer benefit, which is pretty exciting. We have some pretty lofty aspirational goals for the program over the next couple of years, and so we're going to drop a link to join our interest list. If you're interested and you want to learn more, you can visit us on the website, or you can just sign up for the interest list and learn more about the program and when shares would become available for you. One of the things, though, that I will call out specifically about this program is that last year we were able to distribute almost $200,000 in bill credits to qualifying customers. And this year that number is looking to be a lot closer to 400,000, which is just really, really exciting. Again, this is designed to be a supplement and to help you, to help customers be able to participate in and reap the benefits of renewable energy without all those barriers. So it should definitely be, again, considered a supplement to all of these amazing energy efficiency programs. If we go to the next slide, I think that is all I have for you. Here are a couple frequently asked questions. If you are on the website and you're looking around, we have 6 sites currently. You can join any site. We do have them in specific locations, which is exciting. You can see them, but you're not required to select any of them or one that's closest to you or anything like that. Does it matter if you rent or own your home? It does not. This program was specifically designed for all customers and specifically with renters in mind, right? So if you are a renter and you're interested, this is for you. But if you're a homeowner, you can totally participate too. And then how can you learn more and sign up? You can learn more by going to the website, and then you can also call one of our energy advisors. I know you've seen their contact information a couple times here, but they are always a great resource for learning more and to see if this is a good fit for you. And I think that concludes my little section here. I'm going to pass it back over to Juan.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. And thank you, everybody else, for all that amazing information. So now we've gotten to the point where we're going to have our Q&A, and there's been a lot of questions coming into the Q&A section here. So we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll have our panelists answer your questions. And if you think of anything while this goes on, please feel free to enter your question into the Q&A section right there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the first question, and it comes from Melody Daughtery. And the question is, I have been trying since March to get through by phone to Pierce County, but every day it says call tomorrow because all appointments are full. What do I do? Suzanne?
So for Pierce County, again, I suggest if you start the PSE help application on pse.com, we can get you the bill discount rate if your income is eligible for that. Otherwise, just go by what they are saying as far as the next available appointment and to try back again at that time. If you're concerned about your bill getting to a point of getting a disconnection notice, feel free to contact our customer care and we'll do a hold on your account to prevent any disconnection notices from generating while you're seeking assistance.
Thanks, Suzanne. And just to add on to that as well, if you can find an outreach event where we're going to be sending people up, please just stop on by there and we'll get you all signed up then and there. So take a look at that list again if you need to. Okay, next question is from Lucy Everyhope. I have a heat pump. Am I still eligible for assistance to get solar panels installed? Not sure if there's any assistance for that. Does anybody?
I can answer that one. So for solar panels, PSE doesn't provide direct assistance for adding solar panels to your home. What we do have is the community solar option that we'd mentioned with the income eligible shares, which doesn't involve actually physically installing solar panels on your home. It involves just interconnecting your account with some community solar locations that we have available throughout our service territory. But if you are looking to add solar panels to your home, the majority of the benefit comes from the fact that it will be significantly reducing your electric bills, ideally. But there are some tax incentives available as well through the Inflation Reduction Act that can cover up to 30% of the cost of solar panels, I believe. And that's something that if you wanted to talk about more, we in the energy advisors would be very happy to do that for you.
Thanks, Caleb. All right, next question comes from Kimberly Peterson. Her question is, are renters able to apply for weatherization? Sandy?
Yes, absolutely. Renters can apply for weatherization. You will need to get permission from the property owner, but you, as a renter, you would directly apply. So I would encourage you to contact your local agency and tell them that you are interested in applying.
Thanks, Sandy. Okay, next question comes from an anonymous attendee. It says, I've tried to apply for the bill discount program and it takes me to the page to request for help, but then it doesn't give me the option for the bill discount program. Only LIHEAP and discontinued COVID program. Am I doing something wrong?
I don't know if you are or not. I do know that our system does allow for somebody to be on one program and then have the other one start up later. or, because currently our program year is such that rolling the bill discount rate out 10-1 along with PSE help, the two are created simultaneously. But as we move into future years, PSE help goes through September 30th, and then the new program year for help will start. So I'm not sure. We can always look at your account individually to see what's up with that. And so customer care is a good phone number to reach for that, and they will probably send a notification to our bill discount at pse.com mailbox.
Thanks, Suzanne. And just to speak on that, I think I might have seen this once or twice out at an outreach event, and I think what happened when that came up for me was that it brought up those two items, PSC LIHEAP and then or LIHEAP and then the discontinued COVID, but then below there was another button that I think was blue, but it just kind of, I feel like maybe it just blended in a little bit. But if you just look around, there's a button that says apply. And if you click on that, it'll take you to the actual application, but it should be in the same general area. Okay, next question here is from Jerry Neal. And it says, is weatherization for a mobile home? Slow landlords don't help. So can weatherization be used in a mobile home?
Absolutely. It is a structure type that is served by the program. And, I also wanted to qualify something I said to a previous question. Can a renter apply for weatherization? I said, absolutely. If you live in a single family structure, so in this case, a mobile home, a manufactured home, or a site-built structure, you would be applying directly. And I wanted to make sure people didn't get confused. If you live in a multi-family building and you're a renter, that's a little different because the property owner would apply for weatherization for the entire building for all the units. So, but the takeaway with this question is absolutely, if you live in a mobile home, you can apply.
All right, thank you, Sandy. All right. Suan Shen asks, when applying for PSC bill discount rate program, it asks for my household's gross monthly income. Is this income before tax or after tax? Do I need to tax I need to provide to fill out the application?
So I'll answer that question. It should be before taxes. Our system will take off a 20% amount from your gross to accommodate for what would be taxes if it's earned income. Other incomes don't have taxes taken off of them. I do see a question in here real quickly I want to answer to. Someone also said, do TANF and SNAP benefits count as income for BDR and help? TANF does, SNAP does not. Thought I would just answer that.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next question here. This question is from Sarah Washington, and the question is, when filling out the application on the discount tab, I put high rise, not for family, because I thought for family was for homes. Will that affect my application?
No.
Thank you. Next question. Christine Wisdom asks, if one lives in a multi-unit building, but they are condos with individual owners, would you still need to contact everyone to get information for weatherization help, or would it be considered a single unit for this assistance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, Caleb, go ahead if you'd like.
I was going to say, if you're in a condo, that is something where you would not have to, if you own the unit, you don't necessarily have to get permission from others to get the rebate. It's not going to have to be something that goes through quite as many steps there. However, you would probably want to talk to your HOA or whatever equivalent you have there about what kind of equipment is permitted there. So in some places don't allow the outdoor units of heat pumps, for example, but a decent number of them do allow that. And in which case, if you have 4 or fewer units that are all attached in one building, we would treat that exactly the same as any other single family application. If it's 5 or more, then excuse me, if it's 5 or more units, then that counts as a multifamily building, in which case we would want to follow follow a slightly different process. And if you call in and talk to an energy advisor about this, we can get you the direct number for a multifamily team on that as well. Though there's probably a fair bit that we would want to talk to you about before that, just to make sure that we're getting or meeting all the other requirements first. So a long, complicated, yes, you can do that.
All right, thank you. Let me go ahead and get the next question here. All right, this one is from Thomas Harrison. It says, is it necessary to upload required documentation for the bill discount rate or / help application online and or bring documents to the appointment? I believe this question is being asked because there is a, at the end of the application, it does ask for documents to be uploaded. Can you guys explain that to us,
I'll
please?
speak to that. Thank you so much. It's a great question. The answer is no, not for PSE help, but if you are LIHEAP income eligible, they do require it. The federal government requires the supporting documentation before a grant can be issued for PSE help. We are moving forward with your self-declaration of what the income is, and only in the instance where your name may be drawn as part of our verification or a random verification, would you need to then pull together documents and be able to provide them to your community action agency, who is in charge of that process for PSE. So not upfront, but only if you hear from PSE or the agency that you've been selected for documentation verification.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, we got another question here from an anonymous attendee. It seems impossible to get an appointment with my local agencies. I have called every day for weeks and I can never get through to them. The recorded message keeps saying that the appointments are booked. How do I get an appointment? It looks like PSC event. It looks like this is a question that was asked earlier. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say try filling out the application online, getting started that way. And then from there, if you still need additional assistance, you can call the PSC customer care or come visit the outreach team at one of our local events in your area.
And as previously mentioned, we can try to get you on the bill discount rate in the meantime.
Perfect. Thanks, Caleb. All right. Next question from an anonymous attendee as well. Can customers qualify with 32,000 household income for a discount or reduced rate on our bill?
Now that will depend on what county you're in, and we really look at it as the 30 days, so the monthly, and how many people are in that household again. So it does, our income guidelines are on psc.com to see for one person households up to, I think, 24. And it will tell you that for your county as to what that cap on the income monthly would be.
All right. Next question. If I have already received LIHEAP grant, can I still apply for the bill discount rate? And it looks like Maria would like to answer this question.
Oh, I can answer that. Yes, you certainly may. you can have LIHEAP, PSE help, and bill discount simultaneously.
Awesome. Okay. We have another question here. It says, I just went to pse.com/en/BPCC/sign in to apply, and it's asking for all these uploads of ID, income proof, and etc. before I can proceed. Can you explain?
That is actually being changed. So you don't need to click the button for any ID type. What is necessary really is choosing the housing type, entering the number of people in the household. And I will say this, I will underline this. If your name is on the bill, be sure and enter your name in there as one of the household members. We're seeing some come through where the applicant is not putting their name. So we need your name on the bill to be eligible for the program. And that's very, very important. And be sure to enter your name amongst the occupants. Don't worry about ID. And we are changing the area where the documents can be uploaded. It won't say required documents. It will say optional, because if people want to do it at the time they're applying, it's a nice feature to be able to just get it there and let it sit in case you're selected for the random verification. But it's not mandatory. So you wouldn't need to load anything there.
All right. Next question from Ruth Boone. For total income, does that include what they take out for Medicare for SSA income?
Actually, the Medicare piece is not counted. So if you have Social Security, for example, you would put what that monthly amount is that you're getting, minus what is taken out for Medicare. And our agencies would recognize that too.
All right. Thank you for that. I have a question here from Briseida Serrano. It's in Spanish. I'm just going to go ahead and read it there, and then I'll translate it to English. It says, yo aplico en multi-services en Federal Way. ¿Seré elegible para este programa también? In English, I work with the multi-services organization Federal Way. Can I apply for this program through them?
You certainly can.
Sí, puede aplicar para este programa con multi-services. Bueno, next question here. It's from Deborah Sodendick, and it says, I signed up for solar. Will I get an email when it is open? So I'm not sure if that's community solar or what it is exactly. But if anybody wants to take a look at that question. I'm assuming if maybe they signed up for community solar, would anybody be contacting them with more information? I'm assuming that's what the question's asking.
If you signed up for community solar successfully, there should have been an email that would go out to you that would confirm that you had signed up for it. And then on your next bill, it should begin showing that. Sometimes if your next bill comes out very soon afterwards, it might not apply yet. But you can also speak with an energy advisor, and we can confirm for you if you are signed up for that.
Okay. Thanks for taking that one, Caleb. All right, let's go ahead to another question here. It says here, Brittany Geary asks, does PSC install the thermometer that's at a discount for $1? So Amit?
Yeah, I can take that one. No, PSC does not install the thermostat. It's only the equipment that you're buying. So you would need to find a either install that yourself or have a hire a contractor to install that for you.
And just to add on to that a little bit, we do have contractors we can recommend for installation if that's something that you need. Although there are also some installation guides available for most of the thermostats, so that if you feel that you are able to do some things like that, there are some links with the individual thermostats that can help you determine, one, whether that particular thermostat is compatible with your existing heating system, and two, how you would go about actually installing that.
Great, thank you. And it looks like we're getting pretty close to the end of our workshop today, or live webinar. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. I think we'll have time for a few more questions. So let's go ahead and get some more answered. Let's see here. All right. Another question we got here is from Dwight McLean, and it says, we are retired with no taxable income. Are there any rebates or credits for individually installing solar panels on our house? I think I'll send it over to maybe Caleb.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? I didn't quite hear that one clearly.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second here. It says, Dwight McLean asks, we are retired with no taxable income. Are there any rebates or credits for individually installing solar panels on our house?
Okay, got it. So as I'd answered on one of the previous questions, we don't have direct incentives that we provide, though there are some tax incentives that can potentially cover up to 30% of the cost. Everything else that PSE provides is in that we are going to be measuring anything that you are sending back to the grid and making sure that you get credit for energy you produce from the solar panels on a one-to-one basis.
Thank you, Caleb. All right, got another question here from Genia Boyles, and the question is, community solar is not available in my community. So does that mean I can't get registered for the program? I live in Island County, Oak Harbor.
It doesn't matter where you live as long as you have electric service with Puget Sound Energy. Your location does not limit whether or not you can sign up for the community solar on the income eligible program. As long as your income is eligible and you have electricity with us, you can potentially sign up for that.
Awesome, thank you. All right, one more question here from R. Smith. Can you talk a little bit more about what
You'll be back in a moment.
not sure what,
Apologies. There we go.
sorry about that. Not sure what happened there. I'll go ahead and get that other question here. So can you talk a little bit more about what is and isn't considered income for bill discount? And will we be audited?
That's a big question. We basically say any money coming into the household from household members 18 years and older is what we're looking for, and you can put that together in your mind. And again, we say the gross amount, meaning the amount pre-tax, and if you're someone who's getting income such as Social Security, that is your net. So you would put that amount, and in a broad answer, that's what I'll stick to at this time. Our website gives a little bit more insight into income in the Q&A.
Okay, so it looks like we have run out of time here. Just want to take a quick minute here to thank all the panelists for answering all these questions. And if your question didn't get answered, we will be taking them down and answering them all via email. So keep an eye out on that. Here we have a contact slide here. So if you need any information for any of the, any of the programs we talked about or any of the contacts, go ahead and take a quick snapshot of this if you'd like. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide here. Thanks everybody for joining us. And don't forget, in the next day or so, you will be getting a post event survey. Make sure you fill that out. And you will also be, if you are one of the 5 winners, you will be contacted on October 26th. For us to let you know that you will be getting that card. And it looks like the follow-up email will be going out October 30th. So keep an eye out for that. And that's all we have today. So thanks again for joining us and have a great rest of your day.